Check 1, 2. All right, here we are. Thank you so much. Welcome to the State Fair of Virginia. We are going to start today with our youth meet goat showmanship. We're going to start with seniors. These are youth ages 16 to 19 as of September 30th, 2025. In our Heat 1 for seniors, we're going to have Jackson Kelly of Clark County, Grayson Long of Rockingham, Emily Hammer of Rockingham, Emily Hartzell of Clark, Hannah Mundy of Caroline, Samantha Wills of Fluvanna, Nina Herrera from Chesapeake, Addison Vaughn of Essex, Tyler Calhoun of Caroline, Lizzie Zirkle of Shenandoah, and Wyatt Holloway of Rockingham County.
Well, good afternoon. I apologize for being late and getting started, but it is a very much my pleasure to be with you guys here for the next couple days and work with your young people and get to evaluate your goats and the doe and the market lamb or market goat show tomorrow. But as we get started, got a great group of kids to start with our showmanship, and we're going to sort through a couple of these heats, and we're going to bring some of them back, and we're not placing these in any particular order. We're just kind of sorting them right now to bring them back, to stack them up within their heats to get a final placing and to find our champion showman in each one of these divisions. And you know, it's very difficult, as these young people realize, getting the goat shown is so important, because obviously, you know, you can bring the best one of the show, and if you can't get them shown right, man, they can look pretty rough. When portion of it, especially sheep and goats, because they do change so much from how well or how the showman does struggle at times. But well, obviously we got some really good ones, I think, to bring back here in a moment, and they're going to be on this end of the show ring. 6 of them here we're going to bring back. The other end, young people doing some really good things that I think are positives. I really like just how calm you are in the ring, how you work in the ring. Everybody used the ring really well, because we got a pretty big class, and so it fits in our ring really well. But you guys use the ring, I think, extremely well. A couple of you, maybe your goat wasn't wanting to work with you quite as well today, just not wanting to set in and settle down and cooperate quite as well, and that's really nothing you can do. It's just a thing that happens when we come out here in class. But let's put our hands together, give them a big round of applause for our first heat. We'll work through our second heat at this time.
Callbacks from Heat 1, Emily Hammer from Rockingham, Emily Hartzell of Clark, Samantha Wills of Fluvanna, Nina Herrera from Chesapeake, Lizzie Zirkle of Shenandoah, and Wyatt Holloway of Rockingham. Entering the ring now will be our second heat of seniors. Again, these youth are ages 16 to 19. We're going to have Corinne Cooley from Frederick, Connor Dilworth of Caroline, Lance Clark of Amherst, Emma Wisecarver of Frederick, Bradley Cron from Augusta, Reagan Loker of Clark, Graceland Swisher from Augusta, Carly Howdyshell from Augusta, Colton Atkins from Warren, Selena Perez, Virginia Beach, Virginia Brown from Isle of Wight, Lindsay Babb of Page, and Emma Wood from Page. This will be your final heat of seniors. Then we'll have our senior goat showmanship drive. We need Heat 1 of intermediates to be in the ready area. Heat 1 intermediates to be in the ready area to check in.
very, very nice heat that we're working with here. And I think when it gets a lot tougher, the ones that we got over here, you guys, we're going to bring you back to compete for the overall here with our first heat. I think an incredibly tough group here to work through. And I say that because, boys, just some little small things. Young lady, you got pulled right there at the end. I think you do a great job. Just wasn't quite getting your weather set quite as quick, quite as well. He's struggling there a little bit. I'm kind of big on, everybody has their own style of how they want to do it, and that's great. I'm not here to evaluate that, but I do like the less we raise them up, I like them to stay on the ground as much as possible. I think when you start raising them up, it's a little more unnatural for them, just my personal opinion. But just one thing to kind of know about me. A couple of you struggled with that, maybe getting them a little bit too stretched, not getting everything set square and quite right. But very, very good group. Let's put our hands together and congratulate these young people. Very, very tough division here in this senior group.
Seniors returning from our second heat include Emma Wisecarver of Frederick, Bradley Cron from Augusta, Reagan Loker of Clark, Graceland Swisher of Augusta, Colton Atkins from Warren, and Selena Perez from Virginia Beach. We're going to call back from Heat 1, Emily Hammer, Emily Hartzell, Samantha Wills, Nina Herrera, Lizzie Zirkle, and Wyatt Holloway. Our judge for the 2025 State Fair Virginia Youth Meet Goat Shows is Harlan Yoakum of Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Harlan operates the family cattle ranch alongside his wife Kara and their 4 children Finley, Ramey, Tripp, and Conley. A graduate of Oklahoma State University, Harlan was a member of the livestock judging team, and he's remained deeply involved in the industry. His children actively participate in showing cattle and goats, and the family recently celebrated a major achievement, showing the grand champion marking steer at the 2025 Cattlemen's Congress. Let's please give a warm Virginia welcome to our judge, Harlan Yoakum, for today.
Well, as I've said in the first two heats, tremendous group of young people working extremely hard. Um, just recently, here within the last year, my oldest daughter decided she wanted to get into the goats, so we started getting goats. And obviously, like everything else, you take a lot of things for granted. I've judged goat shows, sheep shows, and you see really good showmen, and you always you take it for granted because they make it look really easy. And so several of you young people out here do such a good job, particularly you two young ladies here on the top end. You make it look easy. Well, now my daughter's got them, and dadgum, these goats are hard to break. I mean, they are stubborn. I just thought we was going to go tie them up like a show calf or a heifer because that's what we've done, and they get broken. No, it's totally different. So I say all that to help you understand. I have a very, very deep, great appreciation for you young people and being able to get them shown because it takes a lot of time and effort to get them to this point. And just as a couple of these young ladies here on the end, they struggled. I tell my daughter, why are we doing this? We just got through this yesterday. It's like you start over every day with them. But anyway, they're a lot of fun. You guys do a great job. I think particularly here on the top 4 or 5, just small things, kind of sort them along the route here. To me, these two young ladies, that when their respective heats come in, they hit me pretty hard. Showmanship's not a lot different than evaluating the animals. Certain showmen just kind of hit you, their presence. How they handle themselves, how they work with their animal, and I thought these two did when they come in. And I think they're very close. I'm not going to try to sit there and tell you one of you does this better than the other. You're good showman today. Young lady on my left, the green shirt, she'll be your champion. Congratulations.
Your champion senior showman is Reagan Loker. Your reserve goes to Samantha Wills. Third place goes to Colton Atkins. Fourth place, Wyatt Holloway. Fifth, Nina Herrera. Sixth, Bradley Cron. Seventh, Selena Perez. Eighth, Emily Hartzell. Ninth, Emma Wisecarver. 10th, Lizzie Zirkle. 11th, Emily Hammer. And 12th to Graceland Swisher. As the seniors exit the ring, we will now get ready for our intermediate heats. We have 2 heats of intermediate goat showmen for showmanship. In our first heat, we'll have Olivia Fisher of Shenandoah, Skylar Zollman of Rockbridge, Caitlin Barrett of Botetourt, London Vanderhyde of Pennsylvania, John Mason Hale from Hanover, Kylie Blevins of Washington, Lucy Williams of Essex, Caitlin Mayberry of Campbell, Eleanor Pickin from Rockingham, Henrik Wells of Rockbridge, Clara Grubb from Withington, Colton Hemp from Augusta, Hunter Bennett from Augusta, and Brody Pugh from Frederick. Our show would not be possible today without the help of our show staff and volunteers. Clerking today's show is Cynthia Hurst, VCE Program Assistant for Pulaski County 4-H. Lining up classes is State Fair of Virginia Youth Meet Goat Show Superintendent Emily Edwards, 4 H agent from Augusta County. In the ring, we have Dr. Scott Greiner, Extension Beef and Sheep Specialist from Virginia Tech, Philip McCroskey, Ag Educator and FFA Advisor from Abingdon High School, and Chris Gibson, State Fair West Virginia Youth Livestock Advisory Council member. A special thanks to Rob French, State Fair Virginia Youth Livestock Advisory Council member, for securing our sponsorships and awards for the Youth Meet Goat shows. The State Fair of Virginia supports our youth livestock shows by providing this venue, covering our judges' expenses, and paying out over $35,000 in cash premiums and $28,500 in earned scholarships for our exhibitors. First Bank and Trust has provided an exhibitor t-shirt for each of our exhibitors this week. This year's t-shirt has been created in memory of our friend, colleague, and longtime State Fair of Virginia supporter, Casey Daniel. Casey was the inspiration behind and operated our info tent for 6 years, providing exhibitors and parents with guidance, information, and answers to all their questions. Casey served as the 4-H Positive Youth Development Agent in Orange County for 23 years, impacting more youth than can be counted, and not only spreading the mission of 4-H, but truly living it each day and every day. We lost Casey on August 7th to a short but hard-fought battle with cancer. Casey was responsible for the creation of our exhibitor t-shirts for many years and had already begun work on this year's shirt, giving it the same time and attention as always. We wouldn't want tears, so please join me in a round of applause for our amazing colleague whom we miss so much, Casey Daniel. Additional sponsors we have for this weekend include Farm Credit of the Virginias, who provide water for our exhibitors and staff. And general sponsors also include Craig County Farm Bureau, Washington County Farm Bureau, and Wells Forge, LLC.
So we get started in our intermediate group. Much the same competitive level that we saw in our seniors. One's here on the left. We're going to bring you guys back here in the after we do this next tee for the overall competition. Guys here on my right doing some good things. Really I like how pleasant everybody is. So far the classes I worked through. I know I don't get to ask you much, but just a smile, tell me the weight, and make some comments about your animals as we're working through. It's really nice, and I appreciate everybody's attitude, how pleasant you are. Several of you I really like. I'm big on getting them led. I don't like them to. I understand that goats are going to go a little faster just because that's their nature and what they want to do, but I like the pace that a lot of you guys are getting them led at. I think that's real important for me as a judge. I really evaluate livestock on the move, and so I like them to walk as natural as possible when we get them put on a halter. And so I like some of that. Just a few things, a couple of you guys down on the far end there, you got over here in this corner. You get over in the corner, you got to get yourself out and get it squared up. You don't want to get smashed over there in the corner. Even if you're here, hey, if you got to pull back and get to the end of the line and get yourself in a better position, you need to do that, because that is your one job, is to get your animal in the best position to where the judge can evaluate them. So no matter where you are in the ring, you got to work to make sure you get in the right spot and you're not in a hole and you're not over in a corner. But nice group here. Put your hands together. Congratulate them. Encourage these young people. Nice set of showmen here in this intermediate division.
Callbacks from our first heat of intermediates go to Caitlin Mayberry, Eleanor Pickin, Henrik Wells, Clara Grubb, Elizabeth Summers, and Brody Pugh. Entering the ring now is our second heat of intermediates. We have Thomas Randall of Page, Madison Strussnyder of Frederick, Kate Altman of Orange, Ryan Ashley Brown of Isle of Wight, Wesley Coleman of Augusta, Emma Shiflett of Madison, Paisley Hilliard of Page, Rylan Scott of Charlotte, Wyatt Manbeck of Augusta, Alyssa Kopp from Washington, Ellie Meanley from Hanover, Lauren Wright from Page, Sawyer Wilkins from Rockingham, Tyree Nodine from Chesapeake, Caroline Haygood of Pennsylvania, and Preston Widener of Pennsylvania. After this heat, we'll have the intermediate goat showmanship drive. We'll need juniors in heat 1 to come check in. Juniors, heat 1, please check in.
stout group here to work through, and maybe kept one or two more than what we've typically been. But I sure thought this group was deep. Really appreciate their hard work and their focus as they hit the ring. Also done a nice job their presentation. Presentations part of showmanship as well, and getting your animal ready and show ready and looking their best is always important. I thought this group as a whole, nice job there on their presentation of their does and their wethers. And once again, we just got some that kind of separate themselves from me. Got a few of you here on my right side that maybe at times don't quite as get them put together, drive them as hard, and collect them. Once again, as I said earlier, I'm not big on getting them raised just way off the ground. I like to keep them on the ground as much as possible if we can, just to make them a little more natural. But once again, let's put our hands together, congratulate them. Another good group. We'll bring them back in here, and we'll work towards our champion intermediate showman.
Coming back from our second heat of intermediates, we'll have Madison Strassnyder, Wesley Coleman, Emma Shiflett, Wyatt Manbeck, Alyssa Kopp, Lauren Wright, Caroline Haygood, and Preston Widener. At this time, we'll call back our callbacks from heats 1 and 2 for our intermediate age division. Intermediates are age 13 to 15 as of September 30th of 2025. As they're lining up our intermediate final drive, we do have a few more sponsors to thank for this weekend for the Youth Meet Goat shows. Those sponsors are Wells Forge LLC, Middle Lane Farm, Justin and Tina Vi, Hubbard Feeds and Showright, Will Strecker, S&R Meat Goats, the French family, Sunnyside Farms, and Cumberland County Farm Bureau. Junior Goat Showman in Heat 1, please check in. Junior Goat Showman, please check in Heat 1. Returning for our intermediate goat showmanship drive, we have London Vanderhyde of Pennsylvania, Caitlin Mayberry of Campbell, Eleanor Picken of Rockingham, Henrik Wells of Rockbridge, Clara Grubb from Wythe, Elizabeth Summers from Page, Brody Pugh from Frederick, Madison Strassnyder of Frederick, Wesley Coleman of Augusta, Emma Shiflett of Madison, Wyatt Manbeck of Augusta, Alyssa Kopp from Washington, Lauren Wright from Page, Carolyn Haygood from Pennsylvania, and Preston Widener from Pennsylvania.
Thinking a little bit deeper maybe here in our intermediate group as we bring those both divisions back out here and gets super deep. I think as we start to sort through them, I like this top trio quite a bit. They sorted themselves out once again, as we talked earlier. Just certain ones hitching, certain ones do the things that certain judges like. You know, it's really a subjective type of a deal when you talk about showmanship. And I thought these three stood out, and that's not taken away from you guys over here. You do a great job. Obviously, I don't want to say a disadvantage for you guys. I know you're the intermediate, but you did get to kind of watch the seniors. You get to watch, you get to listen. You ought to be able to take some things away. It's always important when you're getting ready to show, as I'm sure most of you know, you got to go study the ring. You got to watch a few classes, hopefully, before, if you're not one of the first ones to go, get to watch them, watch the judge, see how things are going to work. It's really important to kind of go over that in your head and kind of have a plan together on how you're going to do it. So you guys getting to watch those seniors is a big advantage to me. But another great group, great top trio. Put your hands together. Congratulate them. I'll go out and I'll shake the hand of your top three in order.
All right, results for our intermediate showmanship drive. First place goes to Eleanor Picken of Rockingham. Second place, Preston Widener of Pittsylvania. Third, Clara Grubb from Wythe. Fourth, Henrik Wells from Rockbridge. Fifth, Caitlin Mayberry of Campbell. Sixth, Madison Strassnyder of Frederick. Seventh, Caitlin Barrett of Botetourt. Eighth, Lauren Wright of Page. Ninth, Elizabeth Summers from Page. 10th, Alyssa Kopp from Washington. 11th, Wesley Coleman from Augusta. 12th, Wyatt Manbeck from Augusta. 13th, Emma Shiflett from Madison. 14th, Carolyn Haygood of Pittsylvania. And 15th, Brody Pugh from Frederick. Entering the ring now is our first heat of junior goat showmen. These youth are ages 9 to 12 as of September 30th, who have shown goats previously at the State Fair of Virginia. In our first heat, we have Hayden Rubush from Augusta, Lucas Gokenhauer of Shenandoah, Gage Sather of Louisa, Ella Herrera from Chesapeake, Avery Deacon of Rockbridge, Samuel Pulliam of Giles, Madison Randall of Page, Emily Summers of Page, Ayla Dawn Fortune of Augusta, Stella Zolman of Rockbridge, and Tegan Johnston from Augusta County. If you're in Heat 2, please check in. Juniors Heat 2, please check in. We will have 2 heats of juniors for junior goat showmanship. A master showman and reserve, as well as 3rd and 4th overall for meat goats, will be selected by our judge today from the champion and reserve champion age division winners, which include novice, junior, intermediate, and senior. Our Master Showman will then represent the Meat Goat division on Saturday afternoon in the Supreme Showmanship competition, where they will compete against the Master Showman winners from the other 3 species, lamb, cattle, and swine. Each of these contestants will show all 4 species and then be ranked the champion, reserve, 3rd, and 4th overall. Thanks to the support of the State Fair of Virginia and Virginia Farm Bureau, our Master Showman and Supreme Showmanship contestants are vying for $2,100 in cash premiums and $4,200 in scholarships.
Start with our juniors. Got us a 5 sorted out. I think that come back here in a moment. And one thing I know we had particularly young ladies struggling with hers. And you know, as a showman, you're always going to have problems. You're always going to have difficulties. Nothing's ever perfect. It's never ever going to go your way. But it's no different than just in life. It's how you respond to that. And I appreciate that, young lady. You stuck in there. You hung with him. And I know sometimes they're stubborn. They don't want to lead. Sometimes they'll follow one. Sometimes they won't. But always remember that you got to work through your situations as you're showing. And a lot of times judges watch that, and we pay attention to that. You know, don't ever get too frustrated. Don't ever get too mad at them and worked up over it. Just work through your situation you're in. But put your hands together. Congratulate our first heat here in our juniors. We'll work through our second class.
Juniors returning for our championship drive are Lucas Gokenhauer, Ella Herrera, Avery Deacon, Samuel Pulliam, and Emily Summers. Entering our ring now is our second heat of junior showmen. We have Ren Manbeck from Augusta County, Mason Beamer of Rockingham, Shelby Shiflett from Madison, Abby Lane Widener from Pennsylvania, Jenny Gray Widener from Pennsylvania, Evelyn Dudding from Craig, Connor Spangler of Floyd, Levi Gokenhauer of Shenandoah, Meredith Horsley of Virginia Beach, Tanner Henderlight from Frederick, and Maiden Sprouse from Giles. After this heat, we'll have our champion junior drive for showmanship. And then we will have one heat of novice showmen after the junior drive. After the novice showmanship class, we will have the grand drive for master meat goat showman. So everyone who is a champion and reserve, as well as third and fourth, will be called back for the master goat showmanship drive.
Here in our final heat, I think we got 6 of them over here on this side. Young ladies really doing a good job here on the top of this class for me. And once again, showmanship class struggled just a little bit, maybe on getting them led and at times getting them set and making sure, you know, you don't want them too stretched. You don't want them too bunched up. Just making sure, understanding. Sometimes I think showmen want to study the judge too much, and you forget you got to pay attention to your animal. You're watching me, but don't forget to check your animal, make sure their feet's right and they're not, like I said, not too stretched or not too bunched up. And if you got to circle them, get them circled, set back right. It's important to remember that because we do get fixated maybe on where the judge is at, maybe a little too much. But another nice group. Big round of applause. Congratulate them. Good heat. We'll bring them back here in a moment for your champion junior.
Returning from our second heat, we have Mason Beamer of Rockingham, Shelby Shiflett of Madison, Abby Lane Widener of Pennsylvania, Jenny Gray Widener of Pennsylvania, Evelyn Dudding of Craig, and Meredith Horsley of Virginia Beach. We'll now have our junior goat showmanship drive. After that, we'll have our one heat of novice, and then we'll have our overall meet goat showman drive with our champion and reserves from each age division.
here in this division. I guess for me, I thought there was more of a standout. I think the young lady does an exceptional job. She gets on the top of the class and wins this championship, I think, for me, pretty handily. As you study her in division and comes back out here for the overall, I think she does really, really good. The next two or three, I think, get really close. The one thing I'll tell you about this group here that I really appreciate is the intensity. I don't know why, but it always seems like it's in the younger junior kids. But when they hit that ring and come in here, boy, they are focused. You can tell they're out here, they're competing, they're trying to win, and that's so important because you have to work hard. It's not easy, and I get it, and I understand that. But I do appreciate that as a whole. I think this group does a very, very good job of competing, staying focused, and working hard. Like I said, I think we got 3 or 4 of these here that come down second, third, fourth, fifth that I think you can shuffle them around. All you do a really nice job. I like you. I like your intensity as you get out here. Just personal preferences as we sort through them. So once again, everybody, let's give them a big round of applause. Congratulate our winners here in our junior division. Great set of young people working hard here, competing with their goats.
Our champion junior showman goes to Mason Beamer. Reserve champion goes to Evie Dudding. Third, Avery Deacon. Fourth, Jenny Gray Widener. Fifth, Meredith Horsley. Sixth, Samuel Pulliam. Seventh, Abby Lane Widener. Eighth, Shelby Shiflett. Ninth, Lucas Gokenhauer. 10th, Emily Summers. 11th, Ella Herrera. We'll now have our single novice showmanship heat. Novice showmen are ages 9 to 12 who have not shown goats previously at the State Fair of Virginia.
This is first time.
Hunter Stroh-Snyder, please check in. Hunter Stroh-Snyder, please check in. Entering our ring now, our novice showmen are Caroline Brown of Isle of Wight, Genevieve Masters of Rockingham, Caroline Babb of Virginia Beach, Kate Willis of Caroline, Cole Bishop of Orange, Helen Farmer of Pennsylvania, Caitlin Meanley of Hanover, Spencer Baer of Fauquier, Clara Stevens of Shenandoah, Lindsay Newton of Stafford, Amelia Scott from Madison, Walker Manbeck from Augusta, Hunter Stroh-Snyder of Frederick, William Pulliam of Giles, and Catherine Haygood of Pennsylvania. If you are the champion or reserve, senior, intermediate, or junior showmanship, please check in for the final drive after novice. After our master goat showmanship drive, there will be a 30-minute break. Then we will start the registered and commercial doe show. So there will be a 30-minute break between the master goat showmanship and the registered and commercial doe show. Reagan Loker, please check in. Reagan Loker, please check in.
Very, very good group here, our first time showers. And I sure hope you guys are having fun. I hope you enjoy it because obviously anything you do, you gotta love what you do here in the livestock arena because it takes so much time and effort and dedication. But if you love doing it, then you know it's enjoyable and you have fun when you finally get to come here to the state fair to exhibit it. So really encourage you. Hope you guys like it. Continue to progress and do better and get better here at showing your goats. And I think we got, particularly these top three, I mean, to me, they separated themselves. I thought those three come together very, very nicely and working well with their weathers and getting them shown. You get those down, just the subtle differences between the showmen, but taking nothing away from the rest of the class. The rest of you guys doing a really, really good job. Let's give them a big round of applause, congratulate them, encourage these young people here at our first time novice division.
Our novice results: first place champion goes to Helen Farmer of Pennsylvania. Reserve goes to William Pilliam of Giles. Third to Caroline Babb of Virginia Beach. Fourth, Catherine Haygood of Pennsylvania. Fifth, Walker Manbeck of Augusta. Sixth, Spencer Bayer of Fauquier. Seventh, Cole Bishop of Orange. Eighth, Clara Stevens of Shenandoah. Ninth, Caitlin Meanley of Hanover. 10th, Carolyn Brown from Isle of Wight. 11th, Kate Willis from Caroline. 12th, Amelia Scott from Madison. 13th, Genevieve Masters from Rockingham. And 14th, Lindsay Newton from Stafford. At this time, we will be lining up our Master Meat Goat Showman Drive. Again, those are champion and reserve winners from all of our age divisions: senior, intermediate, junior, and novice. We'll bring all of those folks back to choose our Master and Reserve Master Meat Goat Showman, third and fourth overall. Entering the ring for our Master Meat Goat Showmanship drive from the senior division, our champion was Reagan Loker. Our reserve was Samantha Wills. From intermediates, we have Eleanor Pickin and Preston Widener. From juniors, we have Mason Beamer and Evelyn Dudding. And from novice, we have Helen Farmer and William Pulliam.
Well, as we bring them back out here, we get them lined up for your overall champion. Not a lot more needs to be said. This is the best of the best. Each one of them winning their respective divisions, and the reserves on the other side. My gosh, when you get to this level and this good a showman, it's just like I've said in a lot of these divisions, the very, very small things. So there ain't a whole lot really for me to say in here. You do a really, really good job. Just small things that kind of sort them. So let's just congratulate them. Put your hands together. I'll get you a top 4 of your overall showman here today, your GOAT Showmanship. Congratulations, young people.
Your champion comes from the senior division, Reagan Loker. Overall reserve comes from intermediate, Eleanor Pickin. Third overall comes from senior division, Samantha Wills. And fourth overall comes from intermediate, Preston Widener. Congratulations. At this time, we'll take a 30-minute break. We will return at about 4:10. 30-minute break between registered and commercial dough show and now. 30-minute break.